Bladao. Round 5, Hajime no Ippo. The 3 months to counter is the title of round 5. What's up, Midnight? As soon as I start recording, Midnight wanna talk. You wanna say what's up? You wanna say what's up to the people? All right. I love you too. I'm talking about Hajime no. You wanna listen? Talking about Hajime no Ippo. Go ahead. The first steps. Go ahead. All right, girl. So round 5, it starts out with Ippo in the gym, still trying to figure out shadow boxing. That was round 4 for the uninitiated. And he's still having trouble figuring it out. And he's in the gym, and Aoki and Kimura, for those that don't know, those are the two boxers at Kamigawa gym that like teasing Ippo and see him as like the newbie, the squid from Rocket Power. And so he asks them, Ippo asks the both of them, can they watch him shadow box? And they're like, oh, we're on our way out to go do some road work. We're about to go run. And then they basically tease him and, you know, make him kind of trip and fall by basically making him flinch. But again, just being silly. Was it like older brother hijinks type stuff, newbie hijinks, with hazing. So Ippo's struggling. He's trying to figure out how can he figure out a way to beat Miyata. His shadow keeps beating him. So he goes to Kamigawa and asks him. And Kamigawa's like, well, there's only one way to find out. Let's get in the ring. So Kamigawa starts moving around him, but he doesn't do anything. And he tells Ippo to pretend like he's Miyata. And then afterward, he goes, did you get anything, kid? And Ippo's like, yeah, I get it. If I don't attack, then Miyata can't counter. And that's Miyata's weapon, the counter punch. And so he goes, okay, this is going to be called Operation Tease. Ippo don't like the name. But coach is like, basically like, shut up. The name going to be what's going to be. I could find a better name. But the point of the matter is that we got a plan that's going to work. So Operation Tease, they got it down. So they're working on it. And a lot of conditioning, a lot of training, a lot of dart and dash, a lot of being able to be on the defense and take his technical fighting with Ippo's power fighting, power boxing. And so Ippo's tired, you know, exhausted, goes home, and or actually they're working on their strategy, and he takes a break. And Miyata has gone out to do road work at the beginning of all this, and he comes back, and Ippo and Coach Kamigawa are taking a break in their Operation Tease. And so Ippo's sitting down, he's sitting next to this older gentleman, and he has a KBG sweatshirt on. So he's like, oh, he's with the gym. I just haven't seen him before. And then he sees Miyata come back in from his road work, and he's like, oh, he's getting ready to say what's up to Miyata. And Miyata says, hey, but he's talking to his pops. And then that's when Ippo finds out, oh, that this older dude right here is Miyata's pops. And so then Ippo goes home that night. He's thinking about, all right, Operation Tease, this is what we're going to be doing. But then he also takes a moment and goes, man, it's, you know, I wish I had my dad I could train with. And Ippo's pops has passed away. At least though that's the way they make it seem. It will be hella messed up if he was just out with it, having another family, which by the way happens. You feel me? So, but I believe his pops has passed, and so Ippo's like, man, I wish I had my pops here to, you know, to help me train with me. So he goes back to the gym the next day, and he's training his butt off, and he's running, dart, dashing. Kamigawa's like upped it because now they know what their strategy is going to be. So he's pushing him. Ippo's, you know, almost dead. But he keeps pushing. That's the thing. Ippo knows how to put out even when he's tired, even when he's exhausted. Ippo puts out. He puts out the same when he first starts to the very end, which, I mean, that's willpower. And so the coaches are kind of sitting back at, you know, Coach Kamigawa, Miyata's pops, which I'm not sure what his name is yet, and Mr. Yagi, the general manager of the gym. They're all kind of sitting on the side watching Ippo, kind of impressed, like, wow, he's come a long way in 3 months because it's getting close. He's putting the work in. or not 3 months, but he's come a long way in just a little bit of time. And so they're like, yeah, the kid, he's putting himself through it. And so after that long day of working out, he goes to the showers. Everybody's in the showers, and Ippo's in the corner. He can barely even lift his arms. He's so exhausted. And Takamura comes through like, hey, kid, I heard the old man put you through it. And he's like, what's that skirt you got on? And Ippo has a towel. He's like, I got a towel. And basically Takamura's like, nah, we in the shower. Everybody's naked up in here. Takes his towel off. And he was basically making a joke like, oh, what? Are you scared you have a little shrimpy little... And he takes his towel off. And, of course, Takamura, trying to compare himself, Takamura stuff. They even play the sound. It sounds like Gary meowing. When they show Takamura, it's like, meow. But then when they show Ippo, they use the wild elephant. And Takamura's sitting there all crunchy like, ugh. And, of course, Ippo's, like, traumatized and embarrassed. He's like, oh, my gosh. So after that weird ordeal, I told you they have these weird, awkward things, but when it comes to, you know, all these dudes having to be in the same place, shower, I mean, you got to be around each other all the time. So, yeah, they have some awkward, weird moments. But after that, Takamura and Ippo are walking from the gym. And, of course, Ippo's like, I can't believe you did that. And Takamura's like, yeah, I'll buy you dinner sometime. But let's skip all that. That's just foolishness. Let's talk about some real stuff. And he's like, the real stuff is you need to get new shoes. Your shoes are worn out, and that's not good for a boxer like you. So Ippo's like, all right, for sure. And sure enough, Miyata is out there running. They don't see him, but Miyata is out there at night after everybody's on the way home. Miyata's getting that road work in. And so they go to the next day, and Ippo's at this sports shop, but we don't know yet. Miyata's at the sports shop, and Miyata's looking like, I need some new gloves. And he overhears somebody trying to buy some boxing shoes, and I'm thinking he thinks it sounds like Ippo, so he turns around, and lo and behold, it's Ippo. And so he's kind of, all right, I'm gonna keep doing my own thing. But basically, he overhears that the store manager is getting ready to try to give Ippo some shoes he don't need, just the most expensive shoes. So Miyata comes around the corner. He's like, hey, hold up. Ippo, aren't you an in-fighter? He was like, outfighters need shoes like this for the technique. He was like, you need in-fighter shoes because they got rubber soles and you get better traction and more power. And then Ippo's like, oh my gosh, thank you. He's like, yeah, I'll get these. And they're a lot more affordable price. So Miyata just helped Ippo out. Now, mind you, they're supposed to spar in probably less than 3 months from now. Time. Miyata considered himself, you know, who is this Ippo kid? He can barely box when they first sparred. You know what I'm saying? He even upped the amount he's working out because he worked with Ippo. And that's what Coach Kamigawa and Miyata's pops, when they were sitting on the side when Ippo was training, that's what they talked about. You know, he's like, so how's Miyata doing? That's what Coach Kamigawa was saying to Miyata's father. And he's like, oh, he's doing good. He's training a lot more lately. Is that Ippo kid supposed to be motivating my son? And Kamigawa's like, what? And Miyata's dad's like, no, I'm just messing with you. I'm just trying to get in your head. But they clearly see a change with Ippo being there. And Miyata still is humble, selfless enough to help Ippo out. You know what I mean? He's not worried about, oh, I'm going to get embarrassed if I help him out and he beats me. He's like, he respects Ippo's grind, his will, his tenacity, his toughness. So I like that. So he helped him out, but Ippo dipped like Batman. Miyata dipped like Batman. Ippo tried to turn around and say thank you, and Miyata was gone. So Ippo caught up to him and was like, hey, Miyata, let's go have a juice together. I just want to talk. He's like, nah. He's like, Miyata, please. And then Miyata's like, all right, my dude, stop calling my name. Let's go have a juice, whatever. So they go sit and they're just drinking some juice, talking. And basically, Ippo wants to know what it's like to train with your father. Because he's like, I miss mine. I wish my father was here. How was it like to train with your father? Do you like it? Is it tough? Is it cool? Does he teach you cool moves? Are there things secret moves? And Miyata's taken back because he's like, most people that talk about me and my pops training me is teasing me, makes fun of me. He's like, you seem genuinely interested. And Ippo's like, yes, my G, I miss my dad. So then Miyata goes into why he even boxes, which is connected to his pops. Yeah, his pops was a outfighter. So outfighter, infighter. The little bit I'm learning is infighter seems to be more power driven. You want to stay in close so you can get them power shots to knock out, force. An outfighter seems more technical. Slice and dice, getting points. Can you touch him and not get touched? You're not trying to necessarily knock him out. You're just trying to keep on keeping him at a distance. You know, just the technical sport, not trying to take him out. And so Miyata's father was an outboxer, and he believed that technical boxing can beat power. And one match, he got beat by power. And unfortunately, not only did his body get defeated, his mind got defeated. And he felt that technique can't beat power from that loss. Even though Miyata says, my father could have healed and came back fighting and kept trying. He was just convinced after that fight that technique couldn't beat power. So that's been Miyata's goal, to figure out how can technique beat power. So he said every day, and this is since he was little, they showed him. Little one, you know, he was inspired by seeing his pops fall and stay down, so to speak. And so he said, I made a promise to myself that every day I'm gonna work my butt off to master something. And that's what I ended up coming up with, my counter punch, my move. And the counter punch is because he's not powerful, he uses the power of someone trying to attack him. And that's part of the power he uses in the counter punch. So someone's using their power to come hit him. He knows how to get out the way, hits him with the counter punch. So it's his power mixed with whatever velocity they were trying to come in to attack with. And so Ippo found out Miyata's why, and inadvertently the why to his weapon. So the next day, Ippo goes into Kamigawa, and he goes, Coach, I don't want to do Operation Tease. And the gym is full. And Coach is like, wait, what? He loud talking. Coach is like, what? You don't mess with my Operation Tease? I told you we was going to change the name. He's like, no, Coach, I just don't think. He's like, oh, so what? It's not good enough for you? He's like, Coach, that's not it. He was like, I want to face Miyata man-to-man, face-to-face. I don't want to run from him. I don't want to wait for him to counter. Let's figure out how I can go ahead and attack regardless of his strength. Let's see if I can find a weapon so I can go in there and handle business, do damage. He was like, all right, kid. He was like, it's going to be tough. We're going to have to up the workouts even more. We're going to have to go even harder. And he was like, okay, I'll do it. Anything. I'll do anything. Just let me know. So then they go ham, just grinding. What David Goggins said, grind is not even a good word for it. He was just boom, 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 boom. The running, the sprinting, up the hills over and over, the jump ropes, all that stuff. Learning how to stay focused, pushing out when you're just beat. So he puts all that effort in, and the time is coming. The time is coming. I'm trying to think, was there anything else after they put in that? Oh, there is. So he's pushing, right? Going hard, killing himself. And I think this is around the time that both Miyata's dad and Coach Kamigawa had that talk, right? During this session, after they figured out he doesn't want to run away, he wants to attack. So they're upping the workouts even more. So after that, Ippo was like, ugh. He's walking behind Kimura and Takamura at one night after a training. And he could barely keep his head up. And he's in his head. He's like, I don't know if I can keep this up. I know I made the commitment, but I don't know if I'm going to survive this. And Takamura looks back and he's like, oh, kid, it looks like you're done. He's like, you know what? Remember that meal I promised you when we were talking after I showed everybody your stuff and was embarrassed? Yeah. We're going to make it up to you. We're going to get some ramen. It's going to make you feel better. So all three of them go to get some ramen. And lo and behold, who works at the ramen shop? Aoki. Kimura's homie. His 1-2 punch. And they walk in there and basically Aoki says, I have to work here because I don't make enough money from boxing. And so I work here to supplement the money I need. And also my goal is to make enough good money boxing so I can open up my own ramen space and get the grub on. Feed people. And so they go in there to eat. And through them eating, it comes up that Takamura this is going to be his last real big meal because he has to do a big weight loss during training. So you have to do all that training and eat less. And it's tough for him to lose weight. So he can't even drink a lot of water like that. And he has to not be in the shower because his body can soak up water. And so after that, he talks about how when you win a match, all of the hardships kind of just fall away, and you're happy you did it. And so Ippo's like, wow. So he's like, all right, guys, I'm gonna go. So he leaves, and on his way home, he's thinking, he's like, man, I feel like I want to quit, but I'm hearing about the rest of the fighters, and they all have their hardships they deal with. They all have their obstacles and hurdles, and they still do it. They still get through it. He's like, but I don't know. And as soon as he feels like he's like, I don't know, who is it? Miyata, doing road work at night after all the training and stuff. And he has a fly workout suit too. It's like all black and red, but it has like 2 lightning bolts or 2 zigzag lines that stay there. So I like that. I don't know if that's a real brand in Japan, but that's like cold little symbol. But Miyata getting that road work in, not asking for nobody to look at him, not trying to get nobody's attention. He's in his zone. And Ippo sees him and he's like, all right, he gets the face, I'm gonna fight. So then you see him the next day, boom, 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 finishing up, or the next whatever little bit of time is left until this 3 months before they spar again. So Ippo's putting the work in, coming back, running even faster during the road work, darting harder, punching, staying motivated, going through it. Sure enough, the day has come. Well, the day before they spar. And you can see them both working out, and Miyata sparring someone with the power so he can know how to hit him with that counter. And Ippo's on the heavy bag so he can work on boom, boom, hitting them with them hits. And it's about to go down. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Round 6. We're going to have the sparring match, you know what I'm saying, for the year. It's been 3 months. And, man, Ippo's been grinding it out. Going ham, man. This is what I need to constantly see. Someone just grinding it out, grit. So, yeah, let me see if there's any notes. Any notes? So, round 5, man. Whoo! 5 rounds. I know I might have actually gotten everything. Oh, I guess a theme I thought that ran throughout this episode, or maybe not a theme, but this was like Miyata's episode. We got to learn Miyata's why. We got to see his pops for the first time. We got to see what really drives him. The first couple episodes, when you see him, you don't know much about him, so it's easy to think he's being cocky. Even though they show that he's a thinker, he doesn't totally just let everybody influence him. But you can see watching this episode, he's deep, man. It comes from a deep place, wanting to box. It comes from his love from his father, family. They don't talk about the mom, so I don't know if the mom's there, or maybe we'll see the mom later, or maybe the mom isn't there. But his relationship with his pops reminds me of mine. And I love that they're so close, and that his pops is always checking on him, and that they're so close. Like he said, people tease him. I've gotten teased with being so close with my dad. So I got that in common with Miyata. And yeah, man, he's not on this to impress anybody, not for show, not for women, not for fame. He wants to prove his father right. So you see why he's so tough. You see why in later episodes, why he's able to keep going, why he's able to be just a straight savage and just keep moving forward, never quit. So Miyata developed a great respect for Miyata from the little bit or a lot that we've learned from him. Yeah, and always very calm on the surface. No matter what's going on underneath, he knows how to keep that calm, to keep that demeanor. Something I'm sure he learned from his pops, being a professional. And I guess in terms of any other life lessons, there's been so many times in this episode that Ippo was like, I don't know, I'm gonna quit. I don't know if I can keep going. But he kept going. So it's like, it's always mental. Your mental is going to stop you before your body is. Now, if your body shuts down, your body shuts down. And of course, you don't want to just do anything until your body shuts down. I don't know how healthy that is, but you know how far you can go. You can feel it. And you can always go a little bit more to see. And so that's what I'm taking out of it. That's what I'm learning on the daily. Stay on that grind, because I'll let the toughness of today's grind frighten me off of tomorrow's grind. You get what I'm saying? Oh man, today was so tough. So I immediately say, this is going to be like this for all the days coming up. I'm not taking into consideration any variables, any strength gaining, any energy storage widening, any of that. And of course, you don't know when any of that stuff is going to happen. And it's probably just always going to be tough. But it's the mental. I'm realizing it's the mental. And it's tough. It's just something that constantly has to be worked at over and over. Repetition is the growing power. So Ippo, not quitting, not worried about what it looks like now. Let me just put the effort in, put the effort, push, grind, just keep going, don't stop, keep going. And that's the message I'm trying to tell myself every day. I try to keep within me, no matter what happens, no matter what situation, no matter what you're doing. It's always about keep moving forward and apply that discipline. Am I writing? Am I reading? Am I running? Am I getting sleep? What am I eating? Do I have the right mindset going into work? Do I have the right mindset all day? You know, and just because I'm feeling down today, or I end up thinking of something or seeing something that gets my mood a different way, fight. This is a war. There's still time on the clock. This is my brain. What do I have to do to protect my brain, strengthen my brain, get my brain ready for the battle? And it's always a battle. So what do I have to do to just keep moving forward, keep fighting? You know, do I have to envision myself in a boxing match? Do I have to envision myself in a war? You know, I realize while I watch a lot of the shows and movies that I watch all the time, and it's to get that motivation. But as opposed to looking at it on the TV, I need to understand that I have this here. I don't need to watch Batman a million times to know that I have an indomitable will that I need to just keep tapping into every day. I don't even need to watch Hajime no Ippo every day. I don't need to watch David Goggins. I don't need to watch anything motivational. I don't need to watch Griffith. I don't need to watch Berserk. I don't need to watch Guts. I don't need to watch none of it, because I know I have it within me. Now, it's great motivators, and I love watching them, and they're great reminders. And it's also, if I'm going to have any type of stimulation, I'm realizing I want stimulation that's going to feed my mind the right message, my mind, my heart, and my soul, and my body the right message, which is keep moving forward, be as positive and humble as possible. Just keep going, keep coming back. With Captain America, I can do this all day. Have that, you know. Whew. Sorry, I was motivating myself, talking to myself. We can do it, y'all. Push. So round 6 coming. 3 months to counter. We just finished round 5, baby. We're going to see how far Ippo's come in 3 months. Not just Ippo. We're going to see how far Miyata's come in 3 months. Yes, keep pushing. KBG, Kamigawa Gym. Woo! All right. Just push, grind, push. One more step. One more. Just one more. Just one more. Just keep going. Just keep swimming. Just